Hi, and welcome to Comic Picks by the Glick, and here's your host, Jason Glick.
Yes, here I am. And, well, it's like this is our very first podcast. Well, it's not our very first podcast. We've gone through how many now? It's like...
Two trial runs, at least.
And here we are with our very first one that we're hoping to use, put on the net so everyone here can enjoy. Mm-hmm. And what do we have to start off our very first podcast with? Well, Volume 2 of the Aliens Omnibus on Dark Horse Comics.
Right on.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, we're definitely not talking high art here. But the thing is, like, Dark Horse has always done a good job of maintaining a very high standard of quality when it comes to their licensed products. I mean, and this is a pretty good example right here.
Cool.
Okay, now, this volume contains 3 separate stories. Genocide, Harvest, and the Colonial Marines. It's like very, very happy-sounding stories, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, the first story, Genocide, involves genocide. Genocide of the aliens, because basically, on the aliens' homeworld, basically there's a new strain of alien that has popped up after their queen was taken away at the end of the first Aliens Omnibus. So now you got 2 strains of aliens beating the crap out of each other. Why is this relevant? Good question. This is because of a wealthy industrialist named Donald Grant, who's basically come up with a great pharmaceutical drug, great performance-enhancing pharmaceutical drug.
Performance-enhancing, like Pfizer-like, or, like Viagra-like?
Oh, thank God they didn't go in that direction.
You mean like steroid performance-enhancing?
Exactly. Basically, the point is, the sort of effect of this is, they show a guy, taking it before he runs a marathon in the Olympics. He does it, he breaks the world record, and then he keeps going right into the stadium wall, and just like a bloody mess afterwards. He was running so fast because of it. And also, when they show like a standard Marine grunt taking it, he's able to beat the crowd of all the other guys they sent to kick his ass, and then leaping up on the tower to go and take out the other higher brass members who are observing this. So the thing is, like, the army, they're not too keen on having this thing actually perfected per se. Grant really wants us to have this thing perfected in order to market it for everyone. Mm-hmm. So in order to do that, he needs some of the aliens' royal jelly, the special substance that the alien queens produce.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So basically, he talks the army into taking like a nice trip out to the alien homeworld in order to get this stuff. Yeah.
Just for this.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, like, Grant assures them that, hey, you're going to have a free run of all the regular stuff. So, but the thing is, like, as you'd expect from every alien story, the real danger isn't from the aliens themselves; it's from all the backstabbing that goes on amongst the humans.
Right.
And there's plenty of that in this story. As Grant finds out that, well, apparently he doesn't have the only agenda on this trip. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a good story. It's like shows up lots of good B-movie style action, and but the biggest problem is with Grant himself, because he's originally portrayed as like a very unlikable, self-centered corporate CEO jackass, and until the point where the writer decides that, oh no, wait, he's gonna have a huge change of heart once he finds out that people are dying because of what he's trying to do here. Now, I want to like this change of heart, but it's just handled way too quickly. To really be effective. Like, it'd be great if he had started out as a nice humanitarian corporate executive, but the problem is, well, if he was a nice humanitarian corporate executive, then, well, he wouldn't have taken a trip out to the alien homeworld in the first place. Still, the story, it's like, succeeds in serving up lots of good alien action, lots of fighting, lots of violence, in a fairly decent manner. So we got a win right here. Second story, Harvest, also concerns another trip out to another alien-infested planet by a guy who's dying of cancer and wants to use the aliens, the royal jelly, as a wonder drug in order to save his life. Mm-hmm. So he hooks up with this master thief, and also he's also pretty intelligent designer himself. He managed to create his own alien, like cybernetic alien, in order to try and help it infiltrate the hive itself. Now, the problem is, it's like as before, he's not the only person who's trying to get the jelly from this particular tribe. And, well, let's see, how can I put this? Well, things go badly really quick. Now, the real star of this story, though, is actually the artwork by Kelly Jones.
Okay.
Now, he's done lots of good monster movie stuff, like before and since. but the art here really creates a good sense of creepiness and terror, and it actually kind of comes with a feel, feeling unlike the feeling that the first Aliens movie generated in its just really strange and sterile solitary atmosphere. That's what really elevates the story. Although the script itself actually does convey the action in a pretty good manner, and it has lots of nice character moments as well. Right. So we got another win here. Now, well, I'd like to say that the final story in this series, the 10-issue Colonial Marines, was a win. The problem is it's more of a characteristic of the parts being less than the sum of the whole. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you got the. So you see, the problem is with this series that it's a 10-issue miniseries that has 3 different writers.
A little bit of discontinuity between them, would you say? Or
yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's true. I mean, it's like the problem is it could have been a lot worse because they actually, the story they tell is fairly coherent. So the problem is there are a lot of little different plot points that get garbled along the way. Because essentially the story is basically about like a Colonial Marines lieutenant, Lieutenant Henry, who gets saddled with a real jackass job of being of having to escort some other Marines who aren't entirely dissimilar from the ones we saw in Aliens, on a series of babysitting missions out at a corporate waste disposal plant. The problem is that this plant has been infested with aliens and some human-alien hybrids. Now, the human-alien hybrid thing is something that you would have liked to have seen properly explained, but I figured this is one of the casualties of having 3 different writers on the series, because it's never doesn't actually get into get a proper explanation of why there are human-alien hybrids and why there's one leading all these people in the first place.
Okay, so the ignorant question is why are there human-alien hybrids, and was it explained in a movie?
No, I think the whole thing comes from in Alien 3 when you saw the alien be taking on the characteristics of the dog that it spawned out of. Uh-huh. But I think that the problem is that they're actually hinting at this is a part of a genetics experiment gone horribly wrong in one of the company labs.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the problem is, it would have been nice if, I don't know, if not the original writer had gone through all 10 issues, or if just one of these writers had seen the entire series through to its end. But still, the individual scenes, individual pieces in the arc are pretty good. I mean, you get some nice action on the alien space, on the waste disposal station. Then another scene on a water planet that's infested by water dwelling aliens. Yeah, and then a nice showdown with the alien leader on a space station.
That sounds like what it would be.
Yeah,
you'd be looking for. When was this series produced? Just out of curiosity.
Okay, these are all back from the early 90s, I believe.
Okay.
Let's see. I think we're talking 91 through 94. I think. Mm-hmm. So it's overall, if you like the Aliens franchise, then I definitely recommend this. I mean, it's $25, and it's good value for 400 pages of work. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. So there's another omnibus that's because you said this is the second volume.
Yes. The first volume, basically what I remember of it. I mean, the first story, Outbreak, was actually one of the best licensed comics I have ever read, and I'd highly recommend this. Maybe just getting the omnibus just for that.
Okay.
I mean, I will admit that the 3 stories contained in the first omnibus kind of go slightly downhill from there, but still, they're definitely a cut above pretty much every other licensed comic ever made. Mm-hmm. This one though, it's great licensed comics, and even then, it's still good comics. Period. So if you're looking for that, like I said, pay $25 or do what I did and order it through Amazon.
And how much is it through Amazon? Just to give them a little plug.
Oh, it was about $17 through Amazon.
Yeah, they tend to be a little bit cheaper, and then sometimes you can get the free shipping. If you're right there.
Exactly.
Especially if you can buy something else. But anyway.
Yeah. Of course, it'd be nice if Amazon was paying me to plug them.
That would be awesome. I would totally think that'd be great. So Amazon, if you're listening, please give us money.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, going on a completely different spectrum. Mm-hmm. We've got third volume of the Mushishi manga.
All right.
Okay. Now Mushishi is on one hand, like you said, it's a very like arty comic in the sense that it's not about like characters like beating the crap out of each other or like big flashy sci-fi action events here.
Right.
No, this series takes place in feudal Japan. This involves like Mushishi, or a person or a Mushishi master,
right?
Named Ginkgo. Now let me say, I should probably back up and say that the Mushi themselves are basically like creatures that spawn from the very essence of life itself.
Are they mischievous creatures?
Mischievous, I don't think. It's more like they just are, rather than like having any particular agenda. I mean, like they just live their lives as it is, and whether or not it actually causes harm for humans, it's incidental to their existence.
Right.
Yeah. And this volume like basically deals with Ginkgo encounters like some Mushi, who basically cause them to cause them some like problems and cause movement, just like their joints stiffen up.
Really? So like arthritis Mushi?
Yes, arthritis Mushi. Who look like rust, incidentally.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some other Mushi who live in the sea and cause humans to vanish for years at a time. Another one that caused them to grow a tooth in the roof of their mouth.
Aha. So this is a real. I know. Is this based off of the anime series of plot, or is it the vice versa? Like the anime was actually based off of the manga.
Vice versa. The anime was based off this manga.
Okay.
And while the stories in here are generally very good. I mean, I'd recommend this to just about anyone because the series does a good job of showing you stuff you've never seen before. Just like captures the prominence of awe and wonder at seeing these creatures and how they interact with humanity, and just how Ginkgo finds generally unorthodox ways to try to deal with them that don't necessarily like he's not going to, because Ginkgo himself, he's not actually out to kill these things. He wants to find a way for these things to live in harmony.
I see.
Yeah.
So he's not a hunter of them as much as he's just like, okay, I'm going to make them coexist.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and incidentally, the last story actually provides a part of an origin story of Ginkgo himself, which is also interesting itself. The problem is, though, and I realize this is going to be lost on anyone who hasn't seen the anime already, but as someone who has seen the anime before, it's like I have to admit, I do think the series loses a lot when you're not seeing it animated, like in full color and properly animated. I think. I don't know. It's like I sound like a complete jackass when I'm saying that. Seeing it like that makes the series lose some of its impact. But really, it's like the animated series actually holds very closely to the manga that you're reading right here. I mean, it's like almost copies things word for word, scene for scene.
But you're talking about the differences because obviously, for those who don't know it, manga is usually black and white. Exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like. But just seeing the anime, it's like, I mean, like they just captured the essence of these stories that I'm reading perfectly, and so I'm looking at something like it's like I'm not saying that these series are bad by any means,
right.
But like look at the anime and it's like I kind of like that better, honestly.
Right. Well, the interpretation and the way it's portrayed is a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're just seeing I mean, it's like you look at this and you think that just the way he kept all the lush landscapes provided. Like you see in this series, and they almost cry out for some color and movement here.
Yeah,
and it's like, and the anime, it's like really captures that essence perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, and that's part of the charm of it. It's almost in some places very watercolory in the anime, and then when you see it in black and white, it kind of robs us of a little bit of the effect that the anime had on the viewer, So that's how. I mean, if that's not correct, is that how I interpret that?
Yeah, that's pretty true. However, if you haven't seen the anime, then trust me, you're gonna have nothing to complain about with seeing these stories right.
Well, you could always step up, right? You could go and read the manga and then go watch the anime and go, hey, you know what? I kind of like that too.
Absolutely, that's highly recommend. That's whatever you do, it's like you're in for some good stories regardless.
Cool.
Yeah, and on that note. Calling into our first podcast.
All right, well, we'll see you next time.